Hi everybody, welcome to the CSS3 course. In this video, I'm going to discuss some of the ways to set up the text on your web page. So before I do the demonstration, I would like to show the web page on the right hand side and together with the HTML file corresponding to this web page. So I just set up some headings and I also set up some paragraphs. And I'm going to demonstrate the text setup for the web pages by using these 3 paragraphs. Okay. So let us go to the first paragraph. There are so many ways to set up our text, so let me demonstrate some of them to you. Okay, when I simply use color attribute, I just need to type the color to help me change the font color in this way. So the entire paragraph has changed to blue. I'm also able to set up the font size by using the font size attribute. And the value here is 1.5 em. So 1.5 em simply means that I'm going to change the font size to 1.5 times the parent element. So the parent element is simply the body element. So for my body, generally I will have this font size. So 1.5 em is simply calculated from the font size shown by this amount of size. Okay. In addition to using em, we can also use pixels or REM. So we have many other ways to indicate the size of the fonts. We can also set up the font style. Suppose I want to change it to italic. I simply use font style italic as the attribute value pair. So we can see that the font style has changed. Okay, I'm also able to set up the letter spacing. So what does it mean by the letter spacing? We can see that 2 characters are separated by a larger distance than before. So letter spacing corresponds to the separation between 2 characters. Okay, I can also set up the line height. So we can see that the line height has changed to 1.5 times the font size. Okay, so this is the meaning of a multiple being the value of the line height attribute. Okay. In addition to using a multiple, we can also use pixels or em as the unit of the value of the line height attribute. We can also set up the indent of the first line of your paragraph. So 30 pixels means that I simply put the first line to be 30 pixels away from the left border. Okay. I'm also able to set up the decoration of my text. So for example, if I set line through as the value, I will simply see a line passing through all the characters. If I set up other decorations, I will have another kind of output. If I set underline as the value, the lines will simply be under the characters. Okay, we can also set up the color of the decoration of the text. So now the underline color has become light gray. We can also do the alignment of the entire paragraph. So we can see that the text are justified. So we can see that the right border will be having all letters getting close to it. So the justification here is relative to your viewport. When I just enlarge my browser, I'm able to see that the justification is also varied according to the viewport size. Okay. I'm also able to transform the text in a number of ways. One way is to capitalize every single word in my paragraph. So you can see that every single word has the first character being a capital letter. So that is the way of the transformation. After introducing the change in the text appearance, I would like to show you the ways to set up the font of your paragraphs. So let me go to the second paragraph right here. In addition to setting up the appearances, we can also set up the font. So let me introduce an important concept of font settings of CSS, which is called web-safe fonts. We have to notice that the browsers might not be able to support every single font that you want. As a bottom line, the browser will simply allow us to have some web-safe fonts, so that some fonts are able to be shown no matter how old or how new your web browser is. So let me show you one example of the web-safe fonts. Okay, we simply use the font family attribute to indicate the font to use. So sans serif is one of the web-safe fonts. The meaning of web-safe is that almost all browsers, new or old, are able to support this kind of font. So when we say sans serif, we're able to see the font has changed to another format rather than the original one. In addition to sans serif, we have a few more web-safe fonts. For example, the monospace font is also a kind of web-safe font. So we can be pretty safe to say that every single browser is able to support this font. If we want to set up some specific fonts rather than those basic web-safe fonts, it is better to include the web-safe fonts as a backup plan for your font display. So how can we do that? We can rely on a font stack, which is a topic about the third paragraph here. So when we want to set up our own font, we are not really sure whether the browser is able to support it or not. So in this case, we can simply try our desired font first, and then we simply put more fonts which are safer than the previous ones. So let us try this example now. Okay, in the value component of the font family attribute, I have set up 3 fonts. So the first one I would like to use is this one, Gentium Basic. If Gentium Basic is not supported by the browser, I would like to show Noto Sans as the second font. But if even the Noto Sans font is not supported by the browser, at least I'm able to show the monospace font which is regarded as a web-safe font. So it is customary for us to provide a web-safe font as the last resort of the font family. So even though the previous ones fail to be shown on your browser, you are still able to show your content by using a web-safe font. So we have to remember the font family in this particular order. The font you like to show, followed by some safer fonts that you think a browser is able to support. So this completes the text setup. We can simply change the font size, font style, letter spacing, and so on for the text content. And we have also learned to set up the font family for your text. Most importantly, we can simply set up our font stack in order to provide some backup plans for your font that is to be shown on your browser. Okay. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.